Previously on Legacy of Ash. Bruto, it would bring me great pleasure if you stayed and considered this your new home.
Truly, my dear, this would be the life of a lapdog of luxury.
You all might want to come in and check on Remy. He's kind of floating. Go on ahead to the ball. I'll stay with Remy just in case he wakes up.
I'm looking for the collector.
I can get us in momentarily with the collector, but we only have but a few minutes.
Vox?
We now return to Legacy of Ash. The camera opens on a grassy field. There's juttings of rock, and the camera shows this wide, sweeping landscape of rolling hills, a bleak, gray sky, making the entire scene quite dour and dark, lonely. There is no settlements. The field is destitute. The camera pans and sees two individuals sitting on a rock. The female looking defeated, sunken in. We see Remy in different attire, the same attire that we last saw him in. He's standing near her head down. The camera cuts close. We see Zana look up, her battle paint smeared, her face weary, her body broken, scarred, signs of a recent battle. A battle that she has appeared to have lost. She looks up to you. How am I to beat Darth Bane? He is overwhelmingly strong. Ever since we won the Civil War, he's been growing stronger in the Force. And he keeps secrets from me. He's holding me back.
Don't worry about that. The only thing that grows stronger with him is his anger.
How can I become more powerful than him, though? If he is all anger, he is still stronger in that anger, in that hatred. He taught me everything that I know. How am I to...
Look, anger is not everything. Anger provides strength, but it is also blindness.
You see the droid Vox, pristine, young, roll around the corner, and he comes back from his task. Wah. I know, Vox, I know.
He's right, though. You're smarter, you're more cunning. One day you'll defeat him, I know you will.
Is this the part where you tell me it's my destiny?
Obviously.
Do you even believe in destiny?
I used to not. I used to think we were all ants, we came and go without leaving a scar on the world. But I don't believe that anymore. You showed that to me.
Yes, well, what a good teacher I've been so far.
Then continue teaching me. and hone your skills at the same time.
I suppose there is a certain strength of that, going back to the beginning. You have killed, have you not?
I have.
Have you killed bitter enemies?
What do you mean?
People that you have hated. There are different types of kills. Ones that make you stronger and ones that make you weaker. Have you taken a life that makes you stronger yet?
I have. Recently. Or was it forever ago?
Do you still remember it, nonetheless?
I killed the man who killed my mother.
That is a good kill. There are people in this galaxy, worthless animals, creatures for slaughter. And there are the hunters. Bane has taught me that I am a hunter. Tell me, are you a hunter as well?
I don't know. I think I could be.
What is stopping you? Surely you don't want to be one of those with a blade at their throat.
No.
Helpless, weak, powerless at the fate before them. It is a shame that I question destiny, because here we are. You from a glimpse of something else. If not destiny, then what is this?
It has to be destiny. You and I were entwined somehow. 'Cause this isn't the first time I've met you.
Nor I you. As the camera kind of pans around behind you, your silhouette darkening the frame for a moment, as it pans back around, you see her meditating, sitting cross-legged, her eyes shut, Vox nearby. You're not there. As the camera passes around behind Vox, you appear standing there again. I see you often, but I do not know what it means. You are not from here, I can tell that much. And I feel you at different times, but none of it makes sense. It's broken, scattered. Is that how you see it? Or are you just merely a dream?
I've seen the same thing. I've seen you. I've seen you a lot. The more I think about it, the more times I realize it's happened. Ever since childhood. But I don't think I thought you were real then. I blocked it.
The more powerful I become, the more I am able to witness and be witnessed by you. We shall do this. We shall train in the Force. We shall embrace the darkness. We shall become hunters. We shall kill those that are meant to be slaughtered. And if we become strong enough, I will defeat Bane. We will see what destiny truly is. There is a new order in the Sith. The rule of two. A master and an apprentice. When I defeat Bane, we will seize our destinies.
Then teach me. Train me.
She kind of picks herself back up. Vox raises his head and looks at her as she rises up, seemingly taller, seemingly bolder. You see Darth Zana stand, no longer broken, no longer defeated. As she rises up, her cloak falling down to the wayside, her standing in her battered, broken battle garb. She renews herself. She reaches down, clasps her lightsaber, and ignites it. We'll call that a scene. We cut back to the masquerade ball.
It's quite a different tone change.
Little thing.
A little bit different.
And we find ourselves inside the sort of collector VIP area. Once again, the several dozen patrons looking at these very obscure, very ancient or Old Republic artifacts. You see Var clasping Fredrick, feeling the weight, feeling her strength leave her. Fredrick is looking wide-eyed at this collection. The camera focuses on a small, battered droid next to a throne of light, a throne of excellence, of pomp and circumstance. The collector sitting in a long-beaked mask, a masquerade mask. He's looking around at his subjects, a half circle of women dressed in the finest attire, standing as a sort of half circle, a wall between him and everyone else, those who are not him. What do you do?
I beeline it, but like kind of respectfully because I don't want to make too much of a scene.
Look at all this cool stuff.
Pretty much as close as I can get to Vox because I don't want to make a scene yet. I kind of want to like know what's going on first, but I also know that I'm on a time crunch because I only have very long in this room. But I want to see what's going on with him and see like if there's any way I can distract the collector or anything. So I beeline it as fast as possible without making a scene.
Yeah, so as you approach over...
Kind of like dragging Fredrick behind me.
Deal.
I have his hand, so...
He's just kind of like looking around, just being kind of dragged behind. But as you approach, you see, two of the women nearby. One of them was that kind of orange, very beautiful but exotic alien creatures. And she looks at you pleasantly and smiles. And as you kind of smile back politely, but looking through her, you see Vox, and he does not see you. He is not moving. His sensor is on. He's powered up, but he's non-responsive, essentially. He's a very neutered version of himself. And you know this to be relatively what happens to droids when they have restraining bolts on them.
Are other people talking to the collector? Would it be weird?
Nobody
if I
is talking to the collector.
Okay.
People might be talking to the wall of the entourage that he has before him.
Okay.
And even when when you kind of approach, the woman greets you. Hello.
It's so nice to see you again.
I am woefully surprised that you are here after last seeing you.
Yeah? I got a dress and everything.
You look stunning.
Thank you, you do too.
And your date is Fredrick.
It is! I'm so happy to be here
I
with him.
took you for someone much lower than you are, and I apologize for my initial assumptions.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the apology. I love this collection. You were not lying. It is beautiful.
It is magnificent, of course.
What's the most interesting piece to you? What can you tell me about that droid?
The droid is rather in disrepair.
Yeah?
He was found by pirates trying to make his way to the rebellion.
Yeah?
Can you believe it?
That's insane.
You hear some people fire off with laughter in the background. Thank you, sir. Sterling, get in the game, man.
Or don't. Or don't.
It's like couch time all over again. Yeah.
Why does the collector want him if he's in such disrepair?
He is very unique.
He does look it.
He is from the Old Republic.
Yeah?
This droid is possibly 3,000 to 4,000 years old.
That's so cool.
Could you imagine a droid that old that has not ascended?
That's so interesting.
He is soon to receive the greatest honor.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm afraid I know what that is, but how about you go ahead and tell me anyway?
Oh, he is to be launched.
From the cannon?
To set free.
Yeah? Why would you launch such a beautiful piece of the collection though?
Because he is the collector. And if you
Is that what he does
are
with
not...
all of his droids that he collects?
Oh, no, only the most precious of droids must ascend. The collector does not ascend hapless service droids.
Of course not. I'm sorry. That was
Only
a mistake of mine.
the most rarest of his collection are granted ascension.
Why does he have a restraining bolt on him?
Because this one, from what I hear, is a bit of a miscreant.
Yeah?
Yes. He was found in a great state of disrepair with many oddities within his chassis.
Yeah?
Yes, he is quite a collector of refuse and rabble.
Does he still have all those oddities, or did you guys take those away?
No, we made sure that when he was restrained, that we had cleaned him. You see, he was very dirty.
Yeah.
And
Well, being that old,
Yes, he had... Can you believe it? Coloring crayons within him?
How interesting! That's so weird. Why would a droid have crayons?
I don't know. Perhaps he was some sort of child's plaything in the past.
Maybe?
Perhaps his previous owner was a child.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but maybe.
Well, what other excuse could there be?
Maybe they just wanted the droid to have fun.
A droid to have fun. Thank you, gentlemen. I love Hapes. Before I was like, it's just a cool setting. Makes a lot of sense for what I'm gonna do. And now this place is setting of the campaign. Forget Corellia, forget Hope's Light. This is
We stay on Hapes.
we stay here and we see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I'm afraid.
I don't know if I can make this up without having nightmares. This is the start of a horror movie or a good French film. So Fredrick at this time pulls you aside. He's like, "Don't you want to see the collection, my dear?"
I have this thing about droids. I really love them, and I'm so
I have
fascinated.
quite
in
the
this
collection back at my estate. Yes.
Are any of them as old as that?
Oh no! Why would I keep a droid so old and so worthless looking?
You don't know he's worthless. He's got a restraining bolt on him. We should see what he can really do. I want the collector to take the restraining bolt off.
That is quite possibly one of the worst ideas I've ever heard, my dear.
It's kind of insane, I know. But, I mean, if he's gonna ascend anyway, shouldn't his restraining bolt be off so that you can see how insane
I'm sure
he
that
is?
the restraining bolt will be removed at the moment of his ascension, but you heard the woman. This droid is terrible.
I think it should be removed now. What if there's like one person the droid might somewhat listen to?
I don't understand what you're getting at. With this, we're gonna cut, and we're gonna go down into a deep, dark, dank supply closet.
Yes.
To be fair, we could just catch him when he ascends.
No.
With the crate with the door open. Okay, Remy, focus. He's in a coma presently.
Use the force, Remy!
Alright, so we're in a broom closet, and there's snapping sounds, followed by brief illumination, followed by giant nostrils. And then Arcee's like, alright, that's about all the drugs I can stand to do in one sitting.
Oh, come on.
No. Triz, do you trust me? The answer should be no, but do you trust me?
Never.
Okay.
Man, half the time I don't even remember you're around.
Oh, you can't go meta on Arcee. Arcee's the one that does meta. Check this out. Look at these Griffin imbeciles. Look at them. You look and there's a ballroom dancing, and there's laughter in the aquarium. And they're all wearing masks, and they all look extravagant and alien and from a different world, from something in science fiction even. Look at all these normies. We should go out there and try to pretend to be them.
Okay.
Alright. Get ready, Arcee. Act really normal. Here we go.
So normal.
Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Just marches military style out of this closet.
So you guys meet out on the dance floor, and there's lights and there's colors and there's swirling, and you guys are actually dancing, and you look terrible. Like the camera shows you guys stumbling everywhere, and you're laughing, and you guys are idiots, and you guys are swirling, and in this swirling motion, you start to feel your consciousness kind of lift out of your body, and you start to travel, and you float through the ceilings and through the walls, and you're sort of everywhere and nowhere at once. And in that moment, I'm gonna have you roll a let's have you roll a force die.
We need you to roll the drug trip die.
See what kind of trip you have. All right,
bad one.
a single black. So you're going to have a bit of a bad trip, not a terrible bad trip, but you start to meld into the stars. And what are some of the things that you see? What are some of Triz's fears? Especially in relation to how she's feeling, how she's been lately.
I think she finds herself actually she thinks she's back in that prison cell, right, with no way out. So even though while she was there she didn't show it, but she hates feeling trapped, like she doesn't have a purpose. So I think her biggest fear is that she's just back there for a minute.
So she's stuck in a cage. Mm-hmm. Okay. Arcee kind of drifts, and he becomes everywhere and nothing. And he finds himself... It's dark. It's raining. He has a comrade in white armor in his arms. His helmet's off. He pulls the other person's helmet off, and he sees himself. And it's impossible to tell whether it's Arcee or another clone of Arcee. But he's defeated. This is his friend. This is himself in a way. And as he turns, blaster bolts zip past. He's being chased by other clone troopers. They're firing at him. He starts to turn and he runs. We cut back to Triz. Where is she now? Somewhere completely different.
Triz is at the scene of one of the ships that she was on previously, the Phoenix, and it's the scene where her captain tells her to run, and she's running away, and she can hear blasters and just a bunch of shots behind her. She kind of hesitates for a minute, and she turns back and she looks, and she just sees the dead bodies of all her former crew, the ones that she could not protect.
The camera cuts to Arcee as he's landing on Dantooine. His old hunk of a ship looking new. Young. He lands it, disembarks, looks around not knowing a single person. His clothing is completely different. He's entering a hiding. He's disappearing. Ending one life, starting anew.
This time, it's a little bit different. It's a place where she hasn't been before, not physically, but thinks about a lot. She's standing at an airlock where she wasn't one night, and through it, she sees not just Anders, but one by one, her whole entire crew is just shooting out of the airlock, and she can't do anything to stop it.
Arcee sees himself on a ship. It's foreign to him, but familiar. He looks around, seeing a very small, light transport. It's sleek, a little dirty, but new. He suddenly realizes, in a bit of a haze, he thinks it's the Cobalt crate, but he's not entirely sure. And he sees blurred faces run past him, frantic, terrified. Something is happening. There's an attack, maybe. A violent explosion rocks the ship. Alarms sounding. There might be a hull breach. He sees Vox wheel up to him. A droid he's barely known, but a droid he knows that you guys put significant weight behind. He looks down and he's, "What do you want?" The droid just stares at him. His optical sensor changing colors. Yellow, green, red, gray. Just, "What do you want from me, droid? Move on! Get out of here!" More explosions rocking the ship. This droid staring at him. "I don't care. I don't care. Whatever you want, just go. It's not for me."
This time, Triz, she finds herself back to her home planet in the forest. She feels like there's people around her, but she can't quite make out who. She senses something is going on, something that she can't quite figure out. She feels as if something bad is gonna happen. She starts seeing her crew one by one, but they're dying somehow. They're there, and then they're not, and they come back and they're just lifeless. She sees Vox from far away, and he's just staring at her, and he looks angry. His sensor is red. She doesn't know what he's angry about, but it's about something.
Lastly, Arcee finds himself standing in a very dark, vaulted cave. There's treasures around him everywhere. He sees you. He sees the others. Silhouettes more than actual faces. Vox stands before this wall. Impossible to tell what's there. The droid's head swivels 180, looks completely back, and starts to shine this incredibly bright light, flooding the area, brightening so bright that everyone shields their eyes. A silhouette steps between the light, creating darkness, shielding his eyes. A second silhouette steps next to the first. Two people standing between Vox, his light, the shadows, and Arcee. One he thinks is someone he knows. The other is not. There's a yellow aura around one, a red around the other. And as they open their eyes in the darkness, staring back at everyone, he sees diamonds around their eyes. And as he sees these diamonds, he hears this crack. The cave begins to collapse. Spider webbing at first, then giant boulders falling down around them as water begins to swell. As the camera transitions showing this spider webbing, it pulls back over the shoulders, masquerade clothing standing before the aquarium walls. The tank spiderweb cracking, spreading out further. The two of you have makeshift weapons in your hands, and it appears as though you've been banging on the glass for some time. Several pomp and circumstance individuals stand around.
Oh my!
Oh dear, they're banging the aquarium wall.
Those scuba fish are not going to appreciate that.
I'm gonna get all wet!
As the glass shatters, water starts to seep through the cracks until it splits even more, and water begins bursting forth. Glass ripping from itself, water draining, swelling you and Arcee off your feet, knocking these other assholes on their asses. Oh dear! As the whole aquarium begins to shatter and break. Water swelling out of the aquarium. We cut back up.
Second worst party of all time!
But not the first!
Right, so we cut back up to the VIP area, and alarms start ringing. Everyone starts looking around, and the collector goes, "Oh, of course this would happen on my extravaganza. Please see to it, see what is going on with this rabble down below." and you see several of the women of the wall step out and leave for the entrance or the exit of the room. And as they open, they hear screams just start pouring in. Sounds as though something terrible is happening, indeed. And there's a voice that sounds over the building's communication system and says, "Please be advised, the masquerade ball must be ended abruptly. As you see, something happened to the structural integrity of the aquarium. We are sure this is not a serious problem, but for everyone's safety and for the safety of your attire, please, we must call this a night. We apologize for any inconvenience. No refunds, no returns. Thank you." As the alarms continue to sound, people start leaving the room. Fredrick turns to you and he goes, "Oh dear, perhaps we should take this moment to retire early for the evening?"
We'll retire shortly. I would like to get closer to that droid. I think you should go talk to those lovely ladies that are still standing next to
Why
you.
are you wanting to...
Because you don't understand my fascination. And this one is just, it's so beautiful to me. I promise.
This
We'll retire.
hunk of junk?
Yes. This
You are
hunk of-
certainly a diamond in the rough, my dear.
hunk of junk.
Roll me a charm check, because you are acting very suspicious.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh yeah, of course, I'm crazy about this damn thing.
Against?
We'll just say 2 purple, you've got a setback and a boost. A setback because you're acting suspicious, a boost because
Oh my God, Vox?
he's taken with you.
Oh.
You're trying to convince him to make a distraction for his.
Yep.
I
no.
think you fail.
I do fail.
You fail with 3 advantage, however.
do.
What would you like to use your advantage on?
That the ones that left were the ones standing in front of Fox. I don't know.
May I make a
don't know.
suggestion
Yes,
to
please do.
thoroughly... This won't fully... But, like... Maybe you just, like, kiss him kind of thing?
Yeah?
Like, he's like, "Why would you blah, blah, blah?" You know, you just, like, surprise kiss him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like... Well, you know, he's just, like, getting all goose-feathered. And he's not entirely sure what to do. But I think he's just gonna go, like, horribly go and just see what he can do, because this is promising other things. So he turns and he's like, the collector, Mr. Archduke, he just loses, he's like kind of befuddled, and he's just looking around. He's, "Perhaps we should go get a drink, or, you know, celebrate the masquerade balls, you know, at an after party or something." And the collector, "Who... Are you the Archduke of, you know, Bensington?" And they start, you know, the collector's really treating him like shit. You have moments before he becomes suspicious of anything.
So I'm assuming I know I can see where the restraining bolt is on Vox.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got what on top of his head? He has a drink.
He has a drink on top of
Yeah.
his head.
Is the drink just sitting right on his head, or is the drink sitting on him?
There's a small tray fastened to his
I'm
head.
assuming that's the best I have that I can hit this thing with. Well,
There are several artifacts nearby.
okay, I grabbed
Yeah.
the heaviest looking one so
Okay.
that I can just hit
Yeah.
the restraining bolt.
It's like a old Republic fragment of a gaffy
I'm
stick.
sure that's something that they don't want broken, but I'm gonna
It's
hit
like
it.
an old school crowbar.
I'm gonna hit it
Yeah.
against the restraining
Okay.
bolt as hard
Alright,
as I can.
so this is going to be an athletics check.
That's the funny thing with relics. Junk becomes cool when it gets old.
Yeah, eventually if you hold on to shit long enough, it becomes...
Screwdriver!
So
Oh, how dreadful!
They twisted
when
my
I
hand.
flip a force die, I change a green to a yellow. Is that what
Yeah.
happens?
Yes, because your athletics, you don't have any ranks in athletics, do you? So
Yeah.
just your brawn, and your
Which
brawn
is
is 2.
two.
Yeah,
So I'm
you're
at
not,
least flipping one, and I
Yep.
kind of want to flip both of them, but I won't.
you can only use one
That's what I
destiny
thought.
point.
Okay, cool. Against
So your difficulty is going to be...
Tiny restraining bolt. I'm really excited to see Vox.
I'm going to say it's going to be 2 purples, okay? You're in a dress, so I'm going to give you a setback, okay?
I have only had one half of a blue martini.
No, absolutely. I'll give you a boost because it is Vox. I will also give you a...
Boost for the distraction?
I don't know if she's that kind of... I will give you a boost because you're using like a very sturdy kind of tool. And I will give you one last setback because there's people frantically doing everything. Like the collector is still right there. standing nearby.
I just don't want to let go. Okay, this doesn't look good.
That does not look good
This
at all.
doesn't look good at all. It's not good. Nope.
However, it doesn't look terrible either.
So those two cancel out that
Yeah,
one, right?
and this guy cancels out your only success, which also so you don't succeed.
Lack of success, 2 advantage.
Yeah, so you're like bring up this bar, this like pipe essentially, and you slam it against the restraining bolt. I was like disruptor or something.
You slam against
it,
that.
and it just bounces off. You kind of put a small dent into Vox's chassis, just a tiny one. Yeah, no one will ever notice.
It's fine. I'll apologize for it.
And you just kind of
later.
slam into it. What would you like to use your advantage on? Any suggestions or anything? Yes, sir.
The water forces a short in the electrical system.
Okay.
That makes the lights go out.
Deal.
So then she could take another shot with
Deal.
them.
So the lights go pitch black. Just as the lights go pitch black, the collector looks at you. And you're like, tink! You look up, you make eye contact with the collector, and the power goes boom. All right, you have one more chance at this. And what are you doing?
He can't see me. It's pitch black.
He's not very far.
Well, true.
His arms reach from Vox.
You can't
True,
see me.
right? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I just want to hit it again, but I don't
Then-
think
then
that'll
hit it
work.
again.
But I don't think that will work. But I don't have anything else I can do, so I'm gonna hit it. What was that again? It was.
Are you gonna flip the?
Yes. Sorry, guys. But also, like, this is what we need to do. Like the same.
If you fail
pool
this
again. Don't no. I'm the same.
I think it's
I
pitch
am not.
black now.
Counterpoint.
Yes, sir.
Vox's optical eye is glowing like it always
Okay.
does, which would perfectly illuminate her
Which
restraining
would be
bolt
a
in front of
soft
him.
glow. Okay, I'll be generous, very generous.
Your crew to get
I will give you another boost just because you really need this to happen. And you're just really dedicated and you're terrified and you work well under pressure. I think I'm just gonna say that's the thing that happens.
Flip the destiny point so the restraining bolt just falls off.
Well, that's a way.
I'll be
That's a
damned.
way. And that gets the
Yep.
damage, right?
Yeah. Let's hear it. What's the results?
I have 4 success and 1 advantage.
Deal. So you bring down this pipe, slam it right at the tip of the restraining bolt. Mm-hmm. Pink. You hear it detach. You have 1 advantage, right? You feel a hand reach out and grasp
Please
yours.
tell me that it detaches and hits him in the arm or in the head
That
or
it what?
something. Like the restraining bolt hits him.
No, it's like a little.
Oh, okay.
It's like.
Still,
it's like
I
a
can hit him on the head though.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your
So he just grabs you by the arm and he says, "What are you doing?" And it's just.
nothing.
You feel him like yanking you. For your advantage, you feel a hand on his hand rip his hand off. Fredrick rips the collector's arm off of yours.
Okay.
And you see this droid kind of. He starts looking at. And he looks at you, and you hear his like old school fucking horrible process, like you know, like old computers making audible sounds. You hear it processing, and he goes, "What?"
I realize that we're in a very time crunch, but I hug him because that's what Var does.
Yeah, you hear Fredrick and the collector like start into a scramble, like a wrestle of sorts, and you just hear stuff clashing and things falling over, and Vox like you just feel him like. Wah, 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 wah. He has a little like a siren that comes out and starts shining, and he just starts exploding with different appendages and just getting all excited and really crazy.
Fox, we need to get out of here, like now. Like, we need to leave.
And then the second you release him, he just goes.
That's right, because his rear tires squeak.
Yeah. It's okay, Fox. We'll have Bruto fix you at some point, but we gotta get out of here. Yeah, everyone's here. We all came for you.
You get back here with my droid.
You don't even want this droid. You're gonna shoot him out of a cannon. Shut up.
He deserves it.
No.
He must ascend. He will live in Droid Holla.
If there is a droid that deserves to be shot out of a cannon, it's probably
He will
Vox.
rejoice
It is
in
not
Droid
Vox.
Hala for an eternity.
So can Vox actually like roll away right out? Like
Vox is heading for the
We're heading for the door.
emergency lit doorway. Yeah.
This is just getting creepier and creepier.
Like I want to reach down and grab for Fredrick, but I also don't care. So I'm
It's
just yep.
impossible to tell.
No,
where they're
okay,
at
we're
anymore.
gone. We're
Okay,
leaving.
You guys turn and flee the scene of the crime. Right. So we're just gonna skip forward past everybody escaping, not having been arrested by the police because of the madhouse. You guys were all luckily dressed up in masquerade ball stuff.
Yeah, no one knows who it was.
There's this funny scene
only
near the
blue
end where you guys
eye.
rendezvous. You guys all see Vox. Arcee's kind of confused. He's like, "All this for the droid?"
Yes, RC, everything
you're-
for the droid.
You're kind of eerie seeing the droid again. You guys basically lift Triz's dress up. She sits on Vox's head, puts the dress down over him, and just starts wheeling around as she kind of like drunkenly rides Vox. What is this?
It's a hoop skirt
A hoop skirt?
plus Vox,
Plus Vox.
equals escape.
I think Vox has a balloon. He finds a
He has
balloon,
a balloon.
grabs it
And a party
from,
hat.
Yep,
Thank
and
you.
a party hat.
It
Yep.
is a party.
Yep. So the drink falls over upside down and looks like a pointed party hat. And you guys are basically escaping with Vox under Triz's massive last year old dress. And you guys kind of make your escape into the night. And
We're heading back to Bren's
100%.
manor.
Yeah, you're beeping the "please pick us up" button as
Yes,
soon as
as
possible.
soon as I can.
Yeah, as absolutely quickly as possible. Yeah. So I think we're going to call that a scene as you guys make your way out of the masquerade ball. Frantic situation. So you guys burst out into the night.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight. The hover car pulls up. You guys all dive in there. It takes like
All of
everybody
us
to like
to get him in
hoist
there, yeah.
Vox up into the trunk. The hover car goes because he's a metric ton. Slam the trunk, get in there, haul ass out of there. And I think with that we're gonna call it a scene. And right as the car squeals away into broad daylight / nighttime / whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Broad daylight.
So we're gonna cut over.
planet.
We're gonna cut over. It'll be like later that day / night / whatever.
Is the pink waning or waxing?
It's pink purple now.
Oh, okay.
With a twang of orange, not orange with a twang of pink purple.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah. It's gorgeous nonetheless. But you guys are seriously at this point. Like some of you haven't slept for days because you're not entirely sure when's a good time. Arcee particularly hasn't slept since we got here. You know,
he
drugs.
had a very short nap.
Right. So you guys, so you basically get a communication from Arcee, basically like saying, "Hey, are you all right?" After you guys kind of reach back and forth, he asks if you want to get a drink at like the original kind of dive bar that you guys found.
It's like, I'll see you there.
Okay. So you let's find an alien cantina. It's almost like I prepared for you guys to go to dive bars.
You should by now.
Yeah,
It's a common
the
attraction.
classic go-to. All right, so you're sitting there, and you walk in, and you see Arcee in a masquerade suit,
Tuxedo?
but like it's still wet, and he's drunk, and he's just kind of sitting there, just kind of swaying in a booth a little bit, and as you kind of walk up, bro, how you been, man?
Hey, Arcee. Did you go for a swim? Looks like you've
I
been
think-
having a hell of a party.
Kind of looks like it kind of. I'm not entirely sure what happens, but I think a swim went for Arcee.
What?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I was
Okay, whatever you're drinking, I need a lot of it.
I was tripping pretty hard, man. Hapes has got some killer stuff.
Yeah, you notice how, like, potent the alcohol is here?
Yeah.
Like,
But you notice how nobody besides us has ever like ripped
yeah. Local immunity.
something.
Immunity.
Something. Great tourist.
Tolerance.
Great spot though, man. This place is crazy. We.
Bottle says 94% ABV. What is this?
I thought. I got really confused with
I would-
ABY for a second. Sorry. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of acronyms in Star Wars. I mean,
I
in
would clean the
my
engines
life.
with this.
Sorry. Anyways, How you been, man? You look good. You look like...
Wait, manipulate the new hand?
Holy Griffin, shit, man. You got a new hand. That's pretty cool.
Guess you could say I got a hand job.
I'm either
Clink.
too high or not high enough for that one, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that old countess?
Yeah.
She hooked me up, man.
Don't tell me you're still kicking around with her.
Maybe. Why shouldn't I?
Because she's old as shit, man.
None of us get out alive, Arcee.
Yeah. Did you ask her what it was like before the first speeder? Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay,
listen,
Arcee.
I'm sorry. It's just been a bit of a weird day or night. Well, it's been a weird bit of time lately.
Well, how so? I haven't heard from anybody.
Pretty sure. You know that droid you guys are always going on about?
Fox?
Yeah. Var stole him from the masquerade ball.
Okay,
Triz and I created vandalism for what I can only imagine is like a several million credit aquarium.
Okay, Arcee, I'm gonna need to back you up here for a second. Fox was on this planet? This moon?
I'm not entirely sure what happened. We just jumped into a hover car and went back to the estate. Everyone kind of went their separate ways. Remy's still in a coma.
Wait, what?
Var found a droid.
Okay, when did Remy go into a coma?
Bria said the
Why
wedding...
does no one
Hold
call
on.
me?
Bria said the wedding's off until Remy comes back too.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Can't believe you've been farting around with the Countess this whole time.
I didn't know anything was happening.
Well, maybe you should turn on your comm link.
I pull it out and just show it is on.
You see the last 8 messages are from Arcee. Yeah.
It's like, Arcee, Well, I'm glad to hear everybody is, for the most part, doing well. What's up with Remy? He's in a coma?
He's in some sort of like false coma. He's been hovering above his bed for days.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
A
But it's,
force coma, and he's hovering?
listen, man, I don't know shit about this. It's all pretty crazy.
That is goddamn force shit. He is just hovering.
Yeah, look, maybe a meter above his head, above his bed.
I gotta see this, Arcee.
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
I need to go see how Remy is
I
hovering.
mean, do you need to check in with the Countess, make sure she's good to let you go? Did she let you
I
off?
have my own free will.
Did she let you
here,
off the leash
Arcee.
for a little bit?
I carry my own leash, thank you very much.
Yeah, who paid for your arm, mate? It looks pretty fancy.
It is pretty fancy.
Yeah. Well, you have to roll over, do some tricks, let her rub your belly.
Look, Arcee. I might be staying here. Okay?
Man, you're crazy.
Why shouldn't I? Like, she hooked me up with this arm. It's gonna be, seriously, like, the best possible life anyone could ever hope for.
Look around. You ever wonder why all the aliens aren't in the regular bars? You remember when we went to the casino? You remember the looks you got?
I mean, Klatooinians always get those looks. They either, think we're somebody they don't like, that they've been wronged by before, or they think we're one of their friends and they're trying to place if we really are. Nobody can keep us straight.
There's one thing I've seen on this planet. Besides the benders I've been on. When I've been sober. I've seen one thing. Arcee's seen one thing that's kind of stuck with him weird. These Hapes, they're better than everybody else. And that goes for you. That goes for me, mate. I look like them, but I sure shit ain't them. Listen, you can stay here. I know we're gonna go check on Remy, but I'm talking big picture. You can stay here if you like. But this crazy group, rob masquerade balls, you guys rob trains,
I can't believe I missed
you guys
Oz.
are running from the Empire, running from the Hutts. I ain't never had this much fun in years, man. And sure, I'll probably end up 6 feet under, or shot out of an airlock or some crazy sheb. But this is the life, man.
This wasn't the most fun. Just gesturing at my now robotic arm.
Yeah. He points at like 6 visible scars and goes,
These aren't fun either. But each one of these is a story, man. You want to live here? You can end your story. Yeah, you turn over the new chapter. But that's your story, man. The end. You got fat, you got lazy. The end. Right now, your friend is hovering in some sort of crazy white-eyed coma. Your other friend, your other mate, just robbed a masquerade ball full of hundreds of people in broad daylight for a Griffin droid.
It's always daylight.
Your captain is just Griffin crazy.
Yeah, no argument there.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know where we're going at this point. We're just blasting in hyperspace. Listen, man, if you want to stay here and get fat and lazy, that's on you. Enjoy it. Seriously, you've earned it at this point. Old Arcee, he's sat around. He's gotten fat. He's gotten lazy. Almost got him killed. The day we met is the day my life changed around. I started a new chapter and I ended the old chapter. The sitting around on Hapes chapter.
well, Arcee, who's watching out for everybody right now? What's going on? Like,
We're all taking care of each other, man.
and so we had a heist in the middle of the day,
It sounds on par for the course, though,
a
don't it?
coma. You guys just go to shit without me, don't you?
We go to shit with you, too.
Not nearly as bad.
I disagree, man. Listen. Let's go take a look at Remy. And then we can get you back to your kennel.
Fine. Let's go look at Remy.
Alright, scene.
I think there
We're going to call it a session for the evening. We will see you again next week for more Legacy of Ash.
Fox, that little scrappy bastard.
What Jenny finds the most annoying NPCs we've encountered yet.
Oh, I think everyone finds them.
favorite.
Cupcake?
No, hey, boo!
Yeah, these guys were way worse.
These guys are the worst. You see her emboldened. She reaches down, picks up her lightsaber, and ignites it.
That might have spiked the music.
That was really loud.
Yes. Yeah, let's try that again.
Just in case they blew the music away. It was really cool, though.
Yeah.
It was really fucking cool, though.
My soul.
Next time we do a new campaign, Jenny wants a new seat. Away from the speaker.
Someone pooped Jenny's pants.
That lightsaber, though.
Oh, God!
Yeah, that terrified
I was like
me.
secretly turning up, and I was like, "This is gonna be cool," and then
I
it was
felt
too
that in
cool.
my spine.
Then it was too cool.
I was like, I don't know if I should say something.
Yeah, I was like, okay, how long do we hold out before we complain about the noise?
Whoa!